Morning, boys and girls. Happy Monday. I hope you've had a lovely weekend. I know I had a really nice time this weekend being able to get out and be back in nature a little bit more, not confined to just my little half-mile radius. I went to Cooper's Island on Saturday and I forgot how beautiful it was there. I had to take a second. I was out for a run, but I had to take a second and just stop and take it all in. There were turtles and longtails. Oh, it was beautiful, stunning. So if you get a chance to go out to any of the spots, as long as you're either with your parent or not with anyone else and you're not near anyone else, then make the most of it because it really does help you feel good. This week, I have launched using a Google Drive to put up documents. So they are now going to be on the link that I posted yesterday. That's where everything's going to be except my morning videos. So you'll see there the schedule, and that's just going to let you know when you have Zooms this week. I've stuck to a pretty similar schedule as last week, but the codes are different because they run out. Then also each day I've put what I'm assigning daily. If you feel like you can go ahead and do something without my instruction, you can give it a try, but I would wait so that you can see these videos for the instructions each day. So we're carrying on with our seed germination experiment today. You're all at different phases, and that's okay. Some of you started last Monday, so your 6 days is completed now. Some of you are kind of halfway between because of not being able to get to the shop in time, and that's absolutely okay. Whatever the case, you have something that you can do. So if you are finished in the germination document, which I will pull up and show you, share screen, Zoom. Hopefully you can see this now. In this document where you started your experiment, you will have either filled in or still be working on filling in these these tables for your beans, where you're collecting all of your results. After you have finished your 6 days, I would like you to have a look at some of these questions. So you all now, most of you have at least one bean that something happened to. I don't think we had any that were too old, so they've all actually done something in this 6 days time. Lots of things actually by what I've seen. So I'd like you to think if you can answer these concluding questions. And if you can't answer them all today, that's okay. But the main thing is that I'd like you to answer them. If you want to wait and do this table tomorrow when you're doing other calculating, you can. It's just basically looking at your results and looking how many days it took for your seed to germinate. So not how much it's grown, but how long it took for each one to germinate. And once you've answered those questions, we're going to be moving on to figuring out how we can interpret some of that data tomorrow. So really important that you have a think of them. What 2 conditions must be the same for the seeds placed in the light and the seeds placed in the dark to make it fair? We talked about that before we did it, so that's just kind of like a recap. You can look at your results, or you can even remember it, which one germinated fast. How could you tell? So this is about what you observed happening. Use as much detail as you can. Why did you need to observe the seeds every day? Think about why you couldn't just start it off and then go leave it for 6 days and come back to it and say what had happened. Tell me why that was important to look each day. Was your prediction correct? You can look back up to the top where you made a prediction and see if it was correct or not. Did they require light for germination? That's an interesting one because a lot of times we automatically assume that plants need light. They must have light. But I think some of you will find that that might not have been the case for the germination. For the seeds that germinated in both conditions, did either seem to germinate faster in the light or in the dark? So this is your comparing. This is where you're saying, okay, if I look at the ones in the light and I look at the ones in the dark, what was the difference in the way that they germinated? And what do your results tell you about the conditions that your two types of seeds need in order to germinate? So based on what you saw, what was best for germination, and what did plants not need for germination? So you can get going with those questions. If you're still recording results, some of them you might be able to answer. Like if you're still recording results, but you have had seeds that germinate, then you can say on which one germinated faster because you've got that information. So whatever you've got the information for, you can do. The second thing I'd like you to do is on the schedule, I posted some links and they're to articles which I'd like you to do a reader's response letter for. So you don't have to do a reader's response for both articles, but I would like you to read both articles because they're interesting. And then pick out of one of them which one you're going to do the response to. So it's on Time Online for Kids. So as long as you've got your device available for you to read on, you can access that link through the schedule. It's not letting me pull it up. And for your reader's response letter, we're kind of out of the habit of doing it. We haven't been doing it, obviously, for the last few weeks. So what I've posted on the Google Drive is also a little prompt sheet to help you. So I'll show that to you now. I don't just want you to write a response where you say, I think the article was cool because blah, and that you're not actually thinking that much about different things. I want you to pick some of these things that apply, some of these prompts that apply to it. So I'll show that to you now. It's a PDF and it's kind of like a choice board. There's a few pages of it. Some of them are only for nonfiction or biographies and memoirs and things like that. So you have to kind of pick which ones are the nonfiction ones and which ones are the fiction ones. But I would like you to write a reader's response letter to one of the articles. I would like you to pick 3 of these choice board options to talk about and make sure they're nice and clear. Some of them are fairly basic. That's why I'm not saying just pick one, because you could talk about I like and I dislike. I don't just want one sentence. I like sloths. I dislike their habitats are being ruined. I want you to elaborate, and that's why I'm saying pick at least 3 to talk about in each letter. I mean, there's tons for you to choose from. The 3 questions one is a great one because you can pose the questions and then you could actually go and research yourself what some of the answers might be. A lot of the time when we're reading something that's factual, we read it and we have questions. We're learning things that we don't already know about. So it's a good thing to think about what questions are brought up when you read something and then going off and figuring out some of the answers yourself. That's a really great one. I encourage you to do one of those in your response letter. So you can use this just to pick which 3 you're going to use, and then you can write it on anything. Just send me a picture. If you want to type it, that's fine too. If I'm asking you to do 3 of these choices, that's going to look roughly like 3 paragraphs to a journal letter. But I don't just want to see journal letter. I want to see that you can remember who you're writing to, me, and how you can open your letter and how you can close your letter. So keep to the format of a journal letter. And if you send it to me if you send it to me via your portfolio, I can do a little response, or I can even type a little response for you if you've sent it to me on a typed Word version. So whichever one you're able to do. Stop sharing. Time Online for Kids is a really great source for reading just little articles. They're interesting. You can pick which areas you like. You can pick age range, so it's all adjusted to your reading ability at your age, and it's adjusted to what interests you have. You can pick which things kind of stand out to you, and some of them are really good reads, and it's worth considering putting that as a saved bookmark in your iPad or computer, because it's fun just to sometimes, it's kind of like keeping up with the news. You can kind of look at it once a day, read one thing, and then carry on about your day. But I really would suggest having a look at that often, because it's fun. You'll find interesting articles that you want to read. I am going to be on Zoom, and I'll have my dojo open throughout the day. I'm probably going to be going grocery shopping at around 12, so I don't know how long that will take, but I won't be able to be contacted then. But if you need any help with anything, please, 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 please reach out, and I'm here for you. I hope you have a lovely day. I hope your seeds are doing well. I hope you get a chance to do some exercise, and I can't wait to see you. Bye.